We are on week 3 of Mab's Drawlloween challenge for October, and this week is Goth Moth, and I love that prompt. I had a lot of fun with that one last year, and I think I've got a good idea for this year, so let's get started. This was last year's Goth Moth, and here is my sketch for this year's. We'll see how close that I can get it to the sketch. Last year I really liked my sketch and I had a hard time getting the same feel in the metal. So we'll see how I do this year with this sketch. Yesterday when I was finishing up the mushroom pendant, I started thinking, why am I trying to make large pieces for these challenges? They need to be quick, and I really wish I'd thought of this earlier, but how cool it'd be to do charms and do the daily challenge, and then at the end of the month have 31 charms. So I think next year that's what I'm going to attempt to do. We'll do it daily and make charms, but I think for today's Goth Moth I'm going to limit myself to a 1-inch diameter and just make a charm. I have a tiny bit of gold fill left over, and I think I can just barely get that moth in there and do one of his layers of wings with this. Because I'd really like a gold color, but I just don't want the brass, because I'll have a lot of soldering to do on this. So I think I can just make it so we can't mess up on this. This piece of gold fill I used once before to cut out little spines for skulls, and I think I'm going to use that negative space for the body on this one. Cut a slit up through the center where the body will be, and then I'm going to try and pull these out a little bit so that I can fit his body in there in between. I decided I'd better get the head soldered on there so I'm not messing around with so many loose pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and file up around the ears and clean him up a little bit. Got all my stamping. Let's see, little stars on the lower wings and his face. So now I'm going to solder the gold fill bat wing on. Not too bad. He he does have a similar feel. This one definitely had elements that I couldn't do on this one because of the size, so I'm gonna have to make a brooch so that I can do this with the red bicycle reflector eyes, and these were going to be street signs. So he's pretty cute. He's about. Here's the pieces so far. We've got week 1, spooky self-portrait. Week 2, mushroom. Week 3, goth moth. Up next is magic and spooky scary skeletons.